Hello guys, today we are going to discuss the factors which delayed the constitution making process in the initial years. You know the importance of constitution. We have already discussed the importance of constitution, how much a constitution is important for a state, because without a constitution a state can't be called a separate state. And our Constituent Assembly took over 9 years to make our first constitution. Today we will discuss those factors which caused the delay in constitution making. Pakistan, it's a diverse country. There are countries of nations, there are countries of communities, ethnic communities, linguistic groups, and different religious communities. No doubt we are having a high level of diversity, but if we will compare ourselves with India, in India there's more diversity as compared to Pakistan, but they make their constitution within 2 years. The first constitution of India was made in 1950, but our constitution was adopted in 1956. So today we will discuss those factors which were responsible for delay in constitution making. That is why we were not able to make constitution for 9 years. First, after the death of Jinnah, ideological conflicts emerged between different political groups and different pressure groups, and these ideological differences create number of differences, a score of differences between different groups, which resulted in delay in constitution making. First was difference on government style. Some leaders were supporting federal government system while others were supporting parliamentary system. So there was not consensus. Usually the politicians from East Pakistan were supporting parliamentary system, and the politicians from West Pakistan were supporting federal system. So there was no consensus on the style of government. West Pakistan was in favor of federal government, and West Pakistan was in favor of presidential system, and East Pakistan was in favor of parliamentary system. So there was difference on government style, and this difference on government style was responsible for delay in constitution making. And the next was the difference on nature of constitution. Usually the liberal and enlightened politicians were supporting a liberal constitution, an Islamic constitution, but a liberal constitution that will accept all communities. But the religious parties and the right-wing political parties were supporting a theocratic constitution, a strict Islamic constitution. So there was difference on the nature of constitution. Some of them were favoring a liberal constitution while others were favoring a theocratic constitution. And because of this difference, we were not able to make our constitution on time. And the next was the linguistic problem. You know the importance of a national language. National language is very important, a very important thing in national life because it represents nation. And there were differences on selection of national language. East Pakistan was supporting Bengali language while West Pakistan was supporting Urdu language. And because of this linguistic differences and linguistic problem, our leaders were not able to make constitution on time. And the next was difference on power sharing between center and provinces. East Pakistan was supporting more powerful provinces and a weak center, while West Pakistan was supporting more powerful center with weak provinces. So there was difference on power sharing between center and provinces. This was also responsible for delay in constitution making. And the next was the problem of geographical representation. East Pakistan was demanding more representation on the basis of more population, because their population was 56%. 56% of people were living in East Pakistan, and in West Pakistan, the population in West Pakistan they were 46%. Yeah, 54% population belongs to East Pakistan, and 46% were living in West Pakistan. And East Pakistan was demanding 54% representation on the basis of their population, while West Pakistan was demanding equal representation for both wings on the basis of geographical units. And because of this difference on geographical representation, our constitution was delayed. The constitution making process was delayed. And the next was difference on election process. Before 1947, there was system of separate electorate for Muslims. But after 1947, usually the liberal politicians demanded joint electorate. They were advocating their point on the view that since after 1947, Pakistan was an independent country and everyone living in Pakistan belongs to a single nation, that's the Pakistani nation. So they were demanding joint electorate for all. But the Islamic parties were demanding separate electorates for minorities. So because of this difference on joint electorate and separate electorate, the constitution could not be made on time. Next was the problem of minority rights. Again, there were a lot of differences on the minority rights. Usually minorities were demanding more rights for them. For example, they were demanding that they must be given the right to become prime minister and president as well, and they must be given equal opportunities, while Muslim parties and especially the religious parties were against this right. They were not in favor of giving this right to non-Muslims, and because of these and many other problems, because of many other problems related to minority rights, again our constitution was not made on time. And the next was the governmental and ministerial conspiracies in center and provinces. Just after 1947, a score of ministries were changed on center as well as in different provinces. For example, from 1947 to 1956, total 5 prime ministers changed, and same was the case in provinces as well. 14th August 1947, Pakistan was established as a separate, as an independent country, and just after a week, on 22nd August 1947, the provincial government of NWP was dissolved. And from 1947 to 1955, 4 chief ministers in Sindh changed. Same was the case in Punjab. In Punjab, 3 chief ministers changed, and all these changings in chief ministerships were not constitutional. Every time the head of this province was dismissed, not on constitutional basis or not on the constitutional principles. And same was the case in center as well. The prime ministers were changing frequently and unconstitutionally, and this was also responsible for delay in constitution making, because the politicians were more interested in government making instead of constitution making. And the next was political barrenness. Just after a year of birth of nation, the father of nation passed away, and after the death of Jinnah, Liaquat Ali Khan tried to continue the legacy of Muhammad Ali Jinnah, but although he was not as much popular leader as Jinnah was, but in 1951 he was also shoot down, and he was, after the martyr of Liaquat Ali Khan, there was no such a leader who could unite the both wings, and there was political barrenness in the political arena of Pakistan. And the next was decline in the popularity of Muslim League. Muslim League is the founder party of Pakistan, and just after 7 to 8 years before the making of first constitution, Muslim League had to face defeat in elections. For example, in 1952, when provincial elections were held in East Pakistan, Muslim League was defeated by Jokta Front. And when the first Constituent Assembly was dissolved and the second Constituent Assembly was made, which made our Constitution as well, the Republicans were in majority. So Muslim League's the loss of Muslim League's popularity was also responsible for delay in constitution making. And the negative role of bureaucracy and politicians. Bureaucracy played very negative role. They influenced in government making, and especially the role of Iskandar Mirza and Malik Ghulam Muhammad is responsible for delay in constitution making. And the next is the dissolution of Constituent Assembly. First Constituent Assembly was dissolved before the making of constitution, and this was again unconstitutional. And when the first Constituent Assembly was dissolved, next Constituent Assembly was elected, and in this process the constitution making process became delayed. Thank you for joining, and guys, make your copies and submit to me as soon as possible. Thank you for joining. Take care. Goodbye.